Hello everybody, as Mulan once said, let's get down to business. Today's topic is upper half mechanics, and this is Tips with Trev, the show where I give developing baseball players some easy tips to end their slumps faster and become a superstar sooner. Let's do it. There is so much bad information out there about upper half mechanics, it's sickening. So we're gonna set the record straight in this video. These are the things that matter. Number one, don't mess yourself up. Just don't do it. It makes no sense. Don't mess yourself up. And what I mean by that, don't get your arms in all these weird positions. Throwing is a natural movement. A lot of people say it's not, but you can go back and look at caveman drawings on walls and they're throwing spears, and I'm pretty sure they weren't playing a game, they were just doing something natural to hunt, and they figured out a better way to do it than just running around and trying to tackle saber-toothed tigers or something. So throwing's a natural movement in a lot of ways, but not if you mess yourself up and get your elbow up like this above your shoulder and like try to throw like this or something. Or if you like take the ball out really long and like point it to second and like that's not it. Just don't mess yourself up. Just stay neutral. Okay, that's really what it's about. Keep your shoulder in a neutral position. Keep your elbow in a neutral position. Keep your hand and your wrist in a neutral position. Just don't do anything dumb. That's step number one. Don't do anything dumb. Important thing number two is the arm spiral. If you didn't do anything dumb and you didn't mess yourself up in step one, you're probably in a position somewhat like this-ish, okay? The next thing that happens is your front foot lands and your throwing arm scap retracts a little bit, and then your elbow is actually going to roll. So this is what's called the arm spiral. The ball is here, and your elbow is going to roll, and it creates almost a spiral staircase. There's an old Japanese book talking about pitching mechanics that actually shows a spiral staircase for how the ball is supposed to unwind and come out of the hand. But that's what it is. It's scap retraction, and then you go into external rotation and supination of the forearm. And then as the arm unwinds, you direct the forearm towards the plate, and then that ties in with pronation and internal rotation, and that's the throw. So don't do anything dumb and then spiral the arm. You are going to lead with your elbow. A lot of people say don't lead with your elbow. I've never seen anyone throw a ball leading with their hand. That's a push. You can't do that. You lead with your elbow. But you need to direct the forearm towards the plate so that you don't fly out and put your arm at risk of unnecessary injury. All right, but that's the second thing that you need to do. It's the spiral staircase, it's the arm spiral, it's scap retraction, supination, external rotation, leading into directing the forearm to the plate, pronation, and internal rotation. Velo comes from proper sequencing. Velo doesn't come early in the delivery. Nothing until foot plant even matters. You can't generate velocity until your front foot's on the ground anyway. So you don't need to do anything with your arm before that to generate velocity. It's just about getting it in a position that can work for you. Your arm accelerates it's the last thing to accelerate in the delivery. It happens the latest. Your lower body, and I talked about this last week, your lower body has to block and stop first before you can even transfer energy into the upper half. So why people are talking about how you take the ball out of your glove and getting your arm up and all this different stuff before the foot hits makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. None. Literally none. You need to be in a good position where your body can work for you when your front foot hits, and that's all that matters. The arm is the last thing to accelerate. So nothing before that even matters. Don't worry about anything before your front foot hits. Just get in a neutral position and don't mess yourself up. Then your arm is going to spiral. Be okay with the fact that you're going to lead with your elbow. That's important to do. Get rid of that terminology out of your head. And that's the second thing. Moving right along to tip number three, your shoulders need to stay closed at landing. Closed meaning if you drew a line from home plate to second base, and then you took the angle of your shoulders, you would want to see your shoulders slightly closed, not slightly open. We don't want to open our torso early. we want to rotate our torso as late as possible. But that's going to happen by doing these first two things correctly. If you have some scapular retraction on your throwing arm side, it's generally going to help keep your torso closed. If you haven't done anything wrong and messed yourself up, you're generally going to land with a closed torso. If you do your lower half mechanics right, which I talked about last week, you're probably going to be in a good position to keep your torso closed. But understand when you're thinking about this that you want to rotate as late as possible. So it's almost like you're doing nothing with your upper body until your front foot hits. It's a relaxation almost. It's just delay. Just wait, 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 wait. Front foot hits, bam, now I can throw hard because I have something to rotate against. But keep your shoulders closed as long as possible. Don't get open with your shoulders. That is definitely important. That's something that people do get right. They talk about staying closed, but they don't tell you how to stay closed. And a lot of people think that it's the glove that keeps you closed. And that brings me to point number 4, which is your glove function. Your glove does not keep you closed. We talked about blocking with the front leg last week. We have to talk about blocking with the glove side this week. The glove side is your front leg for the upper half. It's another segment that has to stop before the next segment can go. If you land and your glove side is in front of your torso or is between your torso and the plate, that is not stopped. You can't now rotate and throw the ball without your glove side having to move. That's not efficient. Now both segments are moving at the same time and you can't efficiently transfer energy. You need to have your glove side outside of the line to the plate. So what I'm talking about here is if this is the plate and my shoulders are in line, if my glove side is here at landing, when I go to rotate, my whole body, my whole upper body has to rotate as one. But if I get my glove outside of my torso line, this is pulled and it's stopped. It can't go anywhere else. This is now the handle of the whip. Now I can rotate my torso around that and come towards the plate. I have a clear line to rotate towards the plate. You can't rotate towards the plate in a healthy way or an efficient way if your glove is between your torso and the plate. It's got to get clear. And what you actually find is you end up rotating through a point in your bicep. You don't rotate through your head. That's not the center of the arc. A point in your bicep is the center of the arc, and it's not circular, it's elliptical. So you're rotating in a circular fashion, but you're also moving towards the plate, and that's what creates this arm spiral and this launch and this, for lack of a better term, this extension. It's really not extension, it's forward shoulder rotation, and it's too complicated for this video. You don't need to worry about it, but the glove needs to get outside of the torso line, and it needs to stop. It's got to firm up. So that's something that they did get right. All the pitching coaches out there, you do have to have a firm front side, but where and when is the most important part. It can't be in front of your torso. So just to recap it all, number 1, there's 4 things here. So number 1, don't mess yourself up. Don't do something dumb. Just stay neutral. Don't mess yourself up. Number 2, arm spiral. Be okay with leading with the elbow. Be okay with going into external rotation. All that different stuff. It's fine. That's what's supposed to happen. Tip number 3 is keep your shoulders closed. And you do that by, tip number 4, getting your glove outside of the torso line to the plate. Okay, that's today's episode. I hope you found some value in this. I hope you learned something. If you did, like it, subscribe, and share this video with someone else that could learn something. It would really help me reach some of my goals. I want to help more people. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2020 so that I can reach more kids and give them more information and help out. That's something I'm really passionate about, so I'd really appreciate your help in helping me accomplish those goals. Leave me your comments below, and I will see you guys on Friday. I'm out.